So, Harry Potter minifigures everywhere. You're wondering, like, what the hell are we doing? This is my third time trying to make this intro, and I don't know what we're doing, honestly. So, the Harry Potter minifigures, we got 6 Fantastic Beast Boys, and these ones, and everyone's showing you all the prints and things, and you've got tons of detailed reviews, but we're going to try and do something a little bit different-ish. We're going to go through the list and talk about what's neat about each figure that you can use in maybe other things or just stuff to think about. So there he is. I was going to say, where's number 1 Harry? So number 1 Harry, he has no hair. But he comes with an owl, and we're not going to look at wands with this. There's so many things. I really recommend checking out New Elementaries. Look at the wand pieces. They're actually really good people. No second face on that one, as you know. It's the short legs, though, and people are like, wow, short legs. They're finally there. We can make short people walking, and wow. And you're right, you can make short people walking, but what's that useful for? This one, and I just broke a piece off of something. And Ron here is number 3, and he comes with a rat. And Hermione comes with her cat. And I don't know where that cat is. It's here somewhere. There's a cat. So they each come with their things. And so the point is that these short legs are basically the same pattern. I think they are actually the exact same print. I'm not 100% confident on that. There might be just differences because of their differences. But you're looking at them, and obviously Hermione's are different. But it only really matches up with that torso piece. So that limits those a bit, honestly. You're not going to be using it in just anything. But you could use them for children, for teenagers or something. The animals, of course, cat. It's a new face print on the cat, so that's more useful if you want to have a bigger collection of cats, or maybe your cat's a grumpy Gus. But the printing on the rat is good for that guy that's later in the movies. He's all hard and stuff. Just good. It's nice to have more rats. I can't get over that. If you're doing a castle or fantasy setting and you need a basement to have some rats, easy way to get rats is with Ron. The owl is very nice. It's a great animal to have. It's a snowy owl. It's great detailing everywhere. I honestly don't know if that's the newer style mold or if it's a new mold or what for the owl, but those are very usable for if you had a post office, maybe, if you want to do something fantasy with owls, but I like the owls better for that. But just, making a forest scene. Owls, great stuff. Number 4 is Malfoy, and he's got a little cape, and the cape is honestly really useful. It's a short cape, so if you're making a kid superhero or you just want a more small cape, great. Snitch, golden snitch piece. You're wondering, like, hey, what's that about? Honestly, I don't know what else you could do with that. It's cool looking, though. Horde ornament on a car. It's fun. The broom, though, it's that classic swoop, 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 kind of Fantasia almost modeled looking broom, and I think that's good too. White short legs, of course, being nice. His hair mold you could use on all kinds of things, but if you wanted to make some a holy paladin dwarf, let's say, you could use white short legs. Luna is next, and we've got all kinds of stuff. I've got 2 Lunas in here. Anyways, a different face on the back. Or the purple bag's great, and her legs are short with no printing. Bendables, so they're blue. So if you had just someone wearing shorts or pants, I guess, very reasonable, usable parts. The Quibbler piece would be nice too if you had some use for it. Next up is this guy, and you're like, hey, this is getting really boring already. Yeah, but black legs. So he's actually got black legs. It's the same piece as the ones up there, but they're not printed, so they're more usable on a lot of things. Neville here comes with wands, of course, comes with all that. But then he comes with... Damn, I actually forget this thing's name. It's an angry turnip. This piece here, though, is really neat. That's just a regular, like, honeypot piece. But this piece is really neat. It's got a hole all the way through. I don't know if you can see the light. Yeah, you can see through there. It's got a face printed on it. The stock piece, pretty cool. Looks like it's got a mini peg hole on the top and then the bottom as well. So you can attach mini peg appropriate accessories. The hair piece is headphones. So you could use that for stuff. Oh, something I forgot to mention for the other ones. And I think all of them so far, honestly, I will check. But you could switch the hands on some of the ones and make it yellow. There's no skin printing on any of those to make them awkward, including him, Neville, which is great. So if you wanted to have yellow characters instead of the flesh-colored ones, all of those have appropriate printings for that. No flesh printed on them. Not very many do have flesh printed on them, honestly. The ones that do, we'll get to in a minute. So, Cho comes with an owl, comes with a skirt. The hairpiece is a nice one. It's a reuse, though. Another owl, though. Great for a variety of birds. Birds are kind of rare in Lego as a molded thing. So that's good to get. The skirt piece, you could definitely use that in a lot of different settings for skirts. Everything from fantasy to sci-fi, and that's going to be appropriate. There's a little hair here. I just noticed. Dean. So Dean, again, runs into the problem. He's got a Hogwarts flag. It's a Gryffindor flag, sorry. It's cool looking. You could use that crest for something else if, Gryffindor doesn't exist in whatever setting you're making, or just use it as a fan item. He's holding his wands. But he's got printing that goes through all the way down to the hips. And leg, and it again, medium legs, and they're printed, so that you're not getting a ton of use out of that. If you want to switch his hand color out, though, to make Harry or Ron even have a scarf on, yeah, okay, sure, good. So that's great. We're not making tons of progress, honestly. He comes with white wands, so actually we're gonna show those real quick. Wands are neat for a lot of things. The snake Nagini is a really cool mold. It's I'd say softer than regular, but harder than soft. It's got face printing. Is it gonna focus in? I can't tell. The only bar connection though is way back on the arm, tail, the snake arm there, and he looks really good. I love his robe piece. Very appropriate for any kind of mage, perhaps. The only downside is there is a bit of white skin printed on the torso. So you're a little limited on what you can use that for, perhaps. But you could use him for just a generic ghoul. I mean, no problems there. The elf, the house elf, great. Okay, he's got that stuff. We've looked at him before. He's got a lot of printing. This is dual molding here, but printing on his chest to show that he's tan colored so that it matches his head, and that's appropriate. I think it's not the worst thing. You can definitely use it for things. It's a dirty pillowcase, so I mean you could use that as any kind of dirty monster robe. The sock piece is super useful for stockings at Christmas time. It's not the most beautiful looking piece, and it's got some dirt around the edges or something. I'm not exactly sure why that's necessarily, but it's a good looking sock. Definitely not unusable in other settings. And of course, a black book. It does have this very distinct pattern on the front, but just like that, it's a good looking book. You could use it as the side of a book, the back of a book, and pattern's not really super distinct to be to the point where you couldn't use it just as a decorative looking book in even a modern setting. I mean, why not? Triliani, I think that's her name. That headpiece is kind of neat. The hairpiece is really kind of cool. Again, no skin printing for the neck, which is great. Great choice. Goes down to the skirt. You could use that as just a generic mage outfit as well, or just a dress. It's a frilly dress, of course. The cup piece is really great. I love it. And the saucer piece is printed and appropriate for any setting. So that's, yeah, no, there's really no downsides to her. Again, wands as well, but we're skipping over wands. Speaking of wands, he's holding his wands, but Triwizard, and there's printing around the brim of the cup. The cup here, it's huge and weird looking, but Cedric comes with it, and it could be a trophy in a lot of other settings, especially if you don't look at the front. That's looks fine. His uniform's kind of limited. It says Diggory on the back, which definitely limits it. I like his hair piece fine. That's it's a cool, like, swooshed back hair. And his pants, you're like, oh no, they're just great pants, but they're not. They've got a stripe down, the yellow stripe, so you could use those as track pants. And they're really nice looking, actually, and I appreciate the subtlety of that, is they're not, like, over-designed, and you could use them in a lot of different ways. Flitwick, a little limited with his accessories uses. His coattails are short, and you're like, what am I going to use short coattails on? Short people. Kid wearing a tux. His chest printing is great. No back, of course, though. And he comes with a bow tie. Bow ties are useful and everything. His hairpiece is freaking amazing. I could see that used in literally anything. And, of course, more wands. Black short legs are also going to be usable. Mad Eye Moody. And he's going to be a pain to find the other hair. Yeah, there's the hair. Never mind. So I found it. He comes with a wand and a polyjuice potion. Now, that's just a maraca piece, so it doesn't stand up on its own, which, not a biggest fan of, honestly. Didn't love that. The stick, super common, no big deal. Dual molded legs, neat, but they're a little limited because they only match up to his coat, as far as I can tell. Coat looks cool, and again, no skin printing on the neck, area, so that's very appropriate. His hair is cool, and you could use that as thing. And again, if you're into flesh people, you get two different faces. I really do like that look. The Barty Crouch Jr. look, he looks really good. Pretty neat. And again, if you get two of them, you could have brown maracas. Maraca. So I would recommend getting one of those. Invisibility Cloak Harry, he comes with a wand too. He's got that pattern underneath. It's a really great looking pattern. He's got that printing all the way around, even on the back of the legs. I think that's the first time back of the leg printing. Neat as heck. The pattern for the pajamas is very usable on anything that has flesh skin. So maybe. The feet are also limited because of the flesh pattern again, but I mean, it's not the biggest limitation. The invisibility cloak is a really nice piece and very usable for all kinds of crazy things, I'm sure. I would definitely recommend trying to maybe make a half circle rug out of it, if you could lock it down using some stuff like that. It's just very, very good pattern on this side. And that side's neat too. It's all kind of sparkly and shimmery and prismatic. The last Harry Potter one is Dumbledore, and he comes with wands, and that's great. But the pentish or something, I don't know. It's a dish full of water. It's that same saucer we got from like Lego Batman movie and tons of other things, but it's got a printed. Actually, is it the same pattern as Lego Batman movie? It might be deeper. Same mold. I don't know. Either way, it's a nice looking dish. You could use it as a dish, especially if you filled it with stuff and you couldn't see the bottom. Like if I just filled it with these wands. But a dish of water, very usable. His hat and hair is gray, and it's dual colored. I think it's printed. I don't know if it's molded or not. But there's nothing wrong with it. You got a little bit of clearance in the back there. I don't know if that's going to be usable for nothing. His robes are really great for a wizard. Could be used as a dress too. It's nice blue pattern though. His face is cool looking, I guess. It's kind of weird without the beard. And the beard is really nice. I think it's a new beard. Could be wrong. It kind of looks like Vitruvius's beard. But very, very nice looking accessories for that. Good stuff. You're gonna find lots of uses for a plate. You can never have too many plate type stuff. So now we're on to the Fantastic Beasts. Newt is the first one, and I don't know. There's his hair. He comes with the Niffler. Seriously, there it is. There's the Niffler. Niffler we've went over before in a Blind Bag Friday, I believe, but dual molded. You can see the molding going throughout it. it's a cute little thing. You could use it as a mole. You could use it as a just generic monster, very small monster, but a generic monster. The briefcase is a great get. Again, many settings are going to be compatible with that briefcase. His torso is a little limited because of the picket, but not bad. The back is appropriate, and again, no flesh printed. So if you wanted to make it a yellow newt, you could definitely find a face that's appropriate and switch out the hands, and then you've got a more classic styled colored newt. I forget her name. She comes with a recolored hot dog, and that's actually really cool because I don't think they've done the dark flesh colored nougat bun before. Is it Jeannie? Is her name Jeannie? Anyways, good, looks good. Her pants, the pants have printing in the hip that's very specific to match this torso that has the printed flesh in the collar area. But if you were to switch the hip out, which technically isn't correct, I think the pants have slightly more use than they would. The legs have more use than the whole pants. So that's a personal thing. Of course, comes with a wand because she's a wizard. Next guy, he's not a wizard though. We're just going to continue. You can see it as much as you need to see. Okay, I was joking. I knocked it over because I got excited. He comes with 2 new pastry prints. New pastries, definitely worth picking him up for pastries and the briefcase. Again, a very usable torso. No flesh printed. You just switch out the hands and you can use it in any color you want. I keep saying switch out the hands, but you don't have to. I mean, if you're into the flesh colored people, you definitely can. The hair is, I believe, the same as Cedric's. Yeah, it's the same hair piece as Cedric's over here. You can definitely see it over there, but I'll bring it closer so that you can see a little better. Anyways, in a good color. That's almost my hair color, actually, which that's, I think, a pretty reasonable representation of my hair a lot of times. Kind of swooshy, so I like that one, personally. Good figure. And Jeannie Queenie. This is Queenie. That one's not Jeannie then. Jeannie Queenie? That's not, no one would name their kids that. She has a black wand, which is a good color to get. I like that. It's a little more rare of a color. And she comes with the big old pastry, and everyone's like, hey, the pastry. The pastry is pretty cool, though. Lots of skin printing on the back and dual molding on the legs. Makes it limited to flesh-colored people. Not so bad, though. I mean, there's worse things. It's a cute, dress design with a, sash going across the hip. And I assume you can see it. I don't know if you can or not, but anyways, sashes on the back. It's not printed on the legs, but printed on the back of the torso. Hairpiece is a weird color. It's a nougaty color, and I don't have anything. I don't know what color that is. Is that like a sand orange? Anyways, the pastry. One anti-stud makes a little whatever to build around, but great prints on it. There's powdered sugar, perhaps, or something, and then caramel swirls. Honestly, I have no idea what that is, what kind of pastry or Danish or whatever it's supposed to represent, but it's big, and that's going to be like a 4 foot long, tall, maybe 3 foot, I don't know, but it's a really tall, really long Danish. It's a long Danish. So the last 2 are also fantastic beasts. This guy here, he doesn't come with a wand because he doesn't know. Oh, spoilers, he's got demon eyes. He's also got a regular face too. Very nice looking torso print for kind of a slightly older style suit. Very, very reasonable. No printing on the legs. A little bit of a miss there, but gray legs are very usable. Much more usable than a lot of the other characters in the series legs. The big thing to note, though, is that this print is freaking amazing. It says, "Witches live among us," which I could see that. Just if you had 3 dozens of these just plastered along the wall of a modern city where they're got magic scares, or a fantasy city, and just a pamphlet, of course, to pass around. And Very good. The last one is this guy. What's that? No, it's not correct. Last one is this guy. It's the old man, and he comes with an extra hair. Because he's actually this guy. That's right. Again, there's like gold in there, I think, but I'm pretty sure it's gold, not flesh color in his thing. Weird looking face. The hairs are neat, though. I like the hairs. And this one's cool with its double printing colors and just looks good. Appropriate design for the back. It goes around, it's got a sash going down, but it doesn't go into the legs, which is okay considering so much more goes into the legs. You're going to be, like, again, limited to keeping those two together, but you can switch out the hand color for any colors that you would want to match the face of the thing. So let's talk about ones that I think you need to get, and then that'll be the end of the video. Okay, guys? Deal? So ones that I feel like you have to get from this series are the astrology teacher. That cup and thing and the dress piece, really, really, really big deal. If you're into modern settings, there's not going to be too much else that you're going to have to get. I definitely recommend Dobers because of the book and the sock. Very high on my list. I'd say those are tied for number 1 and 2, depending on the setting you're building, of course. And after that, it's kind of a toss-up between several. I would definitely say these two because of the pastries, but also the recolored hot dog. Any of those 3 could be number 2 on the list, and then number, like, we're at 5 already, basically. But number 3, I would honestly probably pick Malfoy because of all the different things that are usable on him. The hair, the cape, the broom, the snitch, and of course getting a wand. If you don't pick up anything else, you definitely need to pick up one for their wand. Pick a color you like. Voldemort's a great one because you get the snake and a white wand. That's pretty reasonable. As for other pickups, the Niffler is a really good one for kind of just a generic little thing. And of course, these ones with pets are really nice. The owls and the cat and the rat. Like I said, getting a ton of rats is never going to be bad. The only other honorable mention, again, and I don't know if you're into it or not, but is the thing. Comment what that name is. This thing is a really weird piece mold, and I don't know if it's going to be used in anything else ever, but it's definitely worth considering. If you're into the Harry Potter, of course, go for the whole series. There's no downside to collecting a whole series of characters you like. But unlike me, I'm probably going to collect them. I'm pretty invested in Lego at this point, you might say. But that's just a personal thing. So, anyways, if you like the video, tell me that. If you want to see more Harry Potter videos, I can do more Harry Potter videos. Comment some stuff. There's going to be a subscribe button here in the middle. Over here on the Triwizard Tournament Cup is going to be a video I picked for you. It'll take you away from here. And over here is a video that Google recommends. So it's a long video. These are always long videos, and it's 22 figures and 24 minutes. So I think that's pretty reasonable. Thanks for watching, all that stuff, and those things are on the screen now. Bye.